Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Let us continue with our algorithm series here. My name is Dr. Haji Tehuko. In our previous problem, we solved the bus problem, okay, that allows to determine whether a number is a multiple of 3, 5, and then 3 and then 5. So for today, I'm going to share to you how we solve the harmless ransom note. Okay, again, this is if you're watching this video, you could use this link here in order for you to see the different problems at the same time the solutions that I'm going to use for the problems here. Okay, so let's now click here the harmless ransom note. Okay, so let's first look into some of the definitions. So the harmless ransom note is, let me open my pointer here, is simply a note made up of words cut out from a magazine text. So let's say, if let's say imagine a kidnapper and wants to write you a text and don't want to identify his or her handwriting to be traced. So you're going to use a magazine to cut out the notes, to cut out words, and then that will be sort of the um, how do you say, ransom note, which technically it's untraceable. Okay, so here the harmless ransom notes is basically a series of texts, actually two texts, and then you have to find whether you can make up the first string with words present on the second string. Okay, so for example, we have here two variables. We have ransom note, and then magazine text. So here we have, this is a secret note for you from a secret admirer, and then here is another text coming from a magazine. So what it does is we will check whether the text that we have here is found within the magazine text. Okay, if in case it matches the exact word, then it would return true, meaning that all the text that we have here is found within the magazine text. Otherwise, it would return false. So that is the objective of the ransom note, harmless ransom note algorithm or problem. Okay, so let's try to solve it. So I'm going to exit the slide and then go to replit. Okay, so this will be our editor. So let me move this one here so that we have enough space. So in order for us to solve this particular problem, what we're going to do is first let's create a function, and then let's call this function harmless harmless there harmless ransom note. Okay, there. Now this harmless ransom note here will have two parameters. Okay, parameters. So the first parameter will be the note text, and the other parameter will be the magazine text. Okay, magazine text. Okay, so that is how this will be the different parameters. So inside here we're going to specify here note text, and then the other one is magazine text. Okay, so those are the different parameters that we're going to use in the harmless ransom note application. The next thing to do is we're going to well, the assumption is when we create or solve this one, assumption is that the input text that we're going to have does not have the does not sorry does not have any punctuation, and it's all written and all in lowercase format, so that we could somehow well, it's not having uppercase or lowercase format, but let's look into how we will be solving this particular problem. So first thing that we'll be looking into is that we need to declare several variables that will be used, variables that we're going to use in our program. So the first one is we're going to create a variable that would contain every word in our note text. Since we have here our note text, how do you say that, note text parameter. So we're going to have here bar note text. Okay, that's the first one. And then we're going to have here note sorry, not note text, but rather note array. Okay, so we're going to store the note text that we're going to have into our note array, and this will be note text there that split. Okay, yes, split, and then we're going to have it like that. So here is that we're going to the result is an array here, note array, that contains the note text that we're going to have. Okay, so the next variable that I'm going to create is our magazine array. Okay, there. Same goes with the previous function, which is the purpose, which is note array. So we're going to have here magazine text. Okay, magazine text here that split, and then we're going to store here this one. Okay, so once we have that already, the next thing to do is we have to determine now how many objects are there in our magazine text, or objects pertaining to words. So I'm going to create here another variable which is magazine object. Okay, then we're going to set this like that. So this uses what you call this technique. Okay, uses sort of a hash table technique or approach. Okay, so we have these variables that we're going to use. Now what we'd like to do is that we're going to check whether or not if the words from our we will count whether how many words are found within the magazine text. So here we're going to create a condition, okay, that would check the or will count the number of words. Okay, so to do that, let's have here magazine array, this one, magazine array that, so it's sort of a loop. So since we're dealing with arrays, so it will be a for each, okay, for each, and then here we're going to have a function word. Okay, now to simplify this one here, so instead of having a function word like this one, we can replace this approach. So if I copy this one here, so this is in JavaScript, okay, we could replace this one by using the arrow function. So instead of having this function and then this parameter here, we could just remove the function here, okay, like that, and then after that use the arrow function. Okay, so the arrow function that we have, this one, so okay, that one here is called the arrow function. So it's the same approach such as this, but it's cleaner, okay, when it comes to writing your codes. Okay, so let's go back here. So magazine array, and then for each word. Okay, now what we're going to do here is we're going to, okay, this one, we're going to look into the context of the word, and then if it matches, then we're going to count it. Okay, so if not magazine object, okay, word. Okay, there, and we're going to have here magazine object word is equals to 0. What we're going to have is we're going to increment magazine object and then pass in this one word, and then we're going to increment it. So what this particular line will do is it will automatically count the number of words that we place into our magazine text. Okay, let's simulate that. Let's test this one here. So to do that, let's okay, let's write this function here. So let's call the function harmless ransom note, and then we have here two parameters. So for the first one, let's leave it blank like that, and then on the second parameter, let's check this. By the way, we have not yet outputted this one here, so what we're going to do is console.log, and then I'd like to print out the, how do you say that object. What is the name of the object? So the name of the object that we're going to print out here is this one here. Okay, so we have this as the first parameter, then we have the second parameter. Now in the second parameter, I'm just going to say this is all the magazine text in the magazine. Okay, so this one here, we will now count how many objects are here. Okay, so let's say for example this is one, is one, and then when we see here magazine, it should count 2. The reason why it's counting 2 is because we have magazine here and also have magazine here. Okay, and let's try this one. Hope it runs, otherwise we'll debug it. Okay. Okay, so there's an error. So for each error here, sorry, so let's, okay, okay, so we need to remove this one. Okay, open and close curly brace. So if, let me check it. Okay, wait. Okay, so we have here magazine. Wait, if magazine, that for each word, then if magazine object word, magazine object is equals to 0, then we increment it, and then the closing should be here. Okay, sorry for that. So let's try it again. Okay, there. Okay, so if you look at the output here, what we did was to count the number of objects based on our second argument here. So if we count this one, so we're incrementing the object's word. So 1 1 1 1, but when we reach the magazine text here, it returned us with a value of 2. Okay, so that is it means that we're able to count the number of items. Okay, now let's continue with this. So the next approach that we're going to have here is to determine whether or not we return a true or false value. So the true or false value means that if the words, example here, we type here magazine. Okay, example magazine. If this particular word is found within this text here, our magazine text, this is your note text and this is your magazine text, it should return true. But let's say we want to have it, let's say Haji, and then we look at the term here, Haji is not found, then it should return false. Okay, so that is the next stage that we're going, determining whether we have it's true or false. Now, so we already went through the magazine, went all the context here. Now we're going to check now all the notes. Okay, we're going to check all the notes. So we're going to use now our note array. Okay, note array, and then we're going to loop for each. Okay, there. Then we're going to loop for each word in our, okay, there, using the arrow symbol, and then this one here. Okay, then after that we're going to have our opening curly brace here, and the closing curly brace should be somewhere here. Okay, let me just, okay, just formatting it like that. So once we have this one here, so the next thing to do is that we will check all the words that are exist from the notes to our magazine. If in case we found it, then we will count them, and then we determine if, let's say, all the text, the notes, the text that we have here is located here, then we'll return true, otherwise we'll return false. But we need to add here one variable to, okay, we need to add another variable here. Okay, so let's say we call this as note is possible. Okay, and let's set it to a Boolean value of true. Okay, so next is, so we're going to have now here, if the word exists in the magazine object. Okay, then we're going to validate it here. So we have here if magazine object, this one here, and then let's check it with our word there. Okay, then if it's found, or if it's not found, then we're going to have here magazine object, and then word, decrease it. Okay, now there's another condition that we need to check it also. Then if magazine object there, okay, word is less than 0, then note possible is equals to false. Okay, there. But if, let's say, this one is true already, so what we're going to have is we're going to have an else statement here that says that note possible is equals, sorry, otherwise this would be also false. Okay, there. Okay, and then we need to return the value here, return note possible. Okay, so it will return true if in case the text that we have here, the text is found within the second the note from the text. Otherwise, if it's less than, then we're going to return it false. Okay, so let's try this one. So I'm going to just paste a sample text that we had earlier. Okay, and then this one here. Okay, so the text is actually found this one. This is the actual text that I'm using. So let's try this one. Hopefully we don't have any problems with our second code. So let's run, otherwise we'll debug. Okay, they're true. So the answer is true. Why? Because if we check this particular text all the items are found here, such as this is found is now one key item here is secret, so there are two items. Look at this one, secret. Okay, note is also found. I hope you could see the highlight. Okay, for you from A. But if we, oh, let's one is admirer, so there. So if we try to, this one here, we have two secrets, remove this one, okay, there, and then we run it again, the value now is false. Why? Because what it is to scan over the items here, and then we only, even though we found already the first secret, so it matches the first item, it again look for the second one, so it did not see the context, so it returned a false value. But if we return it again, okay, there, and then run the program, this one here returns a true value. Okay, so here's the harmless ransom note application or program. Okay, so that's all for this video. Thank you for watching. Bye.